Does it ever seem like the more you chase something or someone, the further it gets away from you? You ever see people that are seemingly chasing something or someone forever? Like imagine that this is a person and they're chasing, right? And the thing is like right here. But it just like continues to be there. That distance never changes. What if the more you chase, the more you try, the more you make something important, the more you put it way up here on the pedestal? What if you're actually doing the opposite for yourself of what it is that you think you're doing? What if when you place things on a pedestal, what if you see things as more than just things? You're actually repelling away from you what it is that you want. What if the actual act of desiring, what if the actual act of wanting is repelling away from you what it is that you want because you want it? I don't have to want this pen because I already have it. This goes deep. We live in this universe that is consisting of energy. Everything is energy. And with that, like attracts like. Energy attracts energy. Everything is energy. The fabric of this entire experience, including you and I, is energy. So if what you are is in a wanting state, that means that you're also simultaneously in a lacking state. If you are in a state where you are placing anything on a pedestal, you're also repelling it away from you. Everything is just what it is. We create the meaning for it. We give it meaning. Oh my God, this relationship is going to save me from myself. Oh my God, if I finally get this pen, then I'll be happy. Oh my God, if I finally get that relationship, then I'll be worthy. I mean, you can believe that all you want to, but it's definitely unhealthy. And it's definitely creating this dynamic for you where you are worthy only if, and that only if is tied to the external. And with that, you're also tying this whole sense of what it is that you deserve based on what it is that you're worth, based on your worth being tied to out there. You're repelling everything away from you. By wanting what is not here, by thinking that you are only worthy if something out there comes into your life and, I don't know, saves you from yourself. The fascinating thing that I learned about actually a lot of things in life, but in regards to self-worth, and when you tie that to the external rather than you determining your own sense of self-worth and that being an intrinsic dynamic, if you feel like the only way that you'll be worthy is if you get something out there, that is extrinsic self-worth. It is exceedingly fucked up and unhealthy. It is volatile as hell because it's tied to something out there that is probably outside of your control, and you're chasing that. So anytime you chase anything out there, you're usually creating a this dynamic where you're just continuing to chase it. This is you. This is what you're chasing. It's just going over and over and over again. The more you run after something, the more distance you create. Now, I understand that this is contrary to everything that we've learned to believe growing up. Chase your dreams, work your fucking face off. I have no problem with showing up every day and doing what's necessary to learn a fucking skill. To create myself in a way that has me, I guess you could say, compatible with something that I enjoy doing. It doesn't matter what it is. If I want to learn to play the fucking piano, yeah, you get the point. If I want to learn to, I don't know, write, show up. But that in and of itself is really also me seeing myself as a pianist, seeing myself as a writer. And that's where the interesting dynamic comes into play, that when you see your worth as tied to anything out there, you actually repel away from you what it is that you want, because you're basically communicating that you're not worthy unless you have that thing. And from what I've learned, we don't get what we want by placing it on a pedestal. We get what we want by letting go of it and already seeing ourselves as that or with it. This has been the spiritual teachings of, from what I've learned at least, many spiritual teachers. And it's just fascinating how this works. So imagine, for instance, you were to something that you see as very important to you. It has to happen. You have to get it. Because if you don't, then you won't be happy. If you don't, then you won't be worthy. If you don't, then you won't be fulfilled. Say, for instance, it's a relationship. Oh, you have to get that person to be in a relationship with you. Imagine the amount of repellent energy you're creating. Oh, you're not good enough without that person? You'll only be worthy if you have that person? You'll only be good enough if you have that person? Yikes. Yeah, that's enough that's for sure. That's fucked up. That's unhealthy. And it's also repellent energy. When you see yourself as whole and complete and already worthy, and you realize that you don't need anything out there, your entire energy dynamic completely transforms. Like, imagine literally just being like, oh, wait a second, I'm already worthy. Like, it just starts coming. The more you try, the more it runs away from you, the more it repels away from you, the less you try. And it's not even just a matter of like stopping trying. It's really more so a matter of seeing yourself as worthy, as whole, as complete, as not needing. Because when you are, your entire energy dynamic transforms because you stop looking out there. That in and of itself transforms your energy dynamic. You attract when you stop looking. Because it's not a game of going out there. We don't need to go out there. It's about going in here. It's about seeing yourself for who the fuck you actually are. That is separate from how you were taught to see yourself as needing things and people out there. You don't. And believe me when I say it, and I'm sure that a lot of people have already experienced this and learned this. There are a lot of unhealthy individuals out there that if you tie yourself to, they will lead you down very dark, unhealthy, dysfunctional, and fucked up paths. Because they're fucked up. They're not good or bad, or right or wrong. They just have their own fucked upness. But we have learned to tie our sense of self-worth to people. Two things. Oh, I'm only worthy if I have this car. Oh, I'm only worthy if I have this relationship. Oh, I'm only worthy if I have this amount of money in my bank account. Oh, I'm only worthy if I have this fucking mansion. I think I already said job. But anyway, oh, I'm only worthy if I have this job. No. It's not true. But that in and of itself is controlling and dictating the way that you see yourself as that, which is then projecting that out into the world, which other people are receiving. And they're also looking at that, and they're looking at that, and they're being like, oh wow, this person is insecure. It's not good or bad or right or wrong. It's just not healthy, because you are tying your sense of self-worth to the external, and that's being received that way. Your sense of self-worth, I mean, you could see your sense of self-worth as external. You can tie it to people and things out there, but the more you do that, the more you will be insecure, and the more you will continue to chase things and people out there and just further reinforce within yourself the already present fucked upness that needs attention, and that's it. That's it. The more you look out there rather than looking in here, the more you repel away from you. You probably don't need what it is you've been led to believe that you need. There's a lot of unwiring that's been hardwired to do. There's a lot of unlearning, a lot of sitting with the self and actually asking yourself what it is that you want. Desire is natural, but understanding the source, understanding why you're desiring something, and then also like letting go of that and like recognizing that if you transform your energy, you'll repel away the things that are necessary to repel away, because you're going to be authentic for yourself. That's the important thing to recognize. But really just like sitting with yourself and just understanding you're already worthy. Having a fucking pencil, pen in this case, having a pen doesn't change anything. Having a relationship doesn't change anything. The relationship might make you feel more worthy because you've learned that you need to have another half or a better half in your life to actually feel worthy. It's bullshit. It's unhealthy. It's fucked up. The healthiest, most attractive thing you can do for yourself is to realize your inherent sense of intrinsic self-worth that people probably did not teach you is present within yourself, which is why you were taught to look outside of yourself to try to achieve that, which is exceedingly unstable in and of itself and unpredictable. Imagine living a life where you tie your sense of self-worth to the external, and because you have very little control over things in the external, you know, it's all over the place. It's unstable. You're worthy, you're unworthy, you're worthy, you're unworthy. You get the picture. That's what happens when you tie your sense of self-worth to the external. It's fucking rocky as hell. It's all over the place. And with that, because you're chasing the external, because you think that you need the external for your sense of self-worth, you repel away from you like fucking crazy everything. Insecurity is a very strong energy dynamic, but so is security. And they are both sincerely felt.